In the vast and varied landscapes of China, a quiet but monumental drama unfolds every day. It is the story of feeding 1/5 of humanity. This immense agricultural effort sustains more than 1.4 billion people. The fields, pastures, waterways, a food system both productive and pressuring the environment. From planting a single seed to the final meal, the processes release greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. These gases drive global warming. The challenge is profound. How can China feed so many while cutting the environmental footprint? China treats this as urgent. The food system, farming, processing, transport, consumption, contributes a substantial share of national emissions. Tackling it secures food supplies, protects rural livelihoods, contributes to stabilizing the climate. This is a story of change, of innovation, and of a nation grappling with a fundamental challenge. We will journey from the soil of farmlands to laboratories developing new technologies and into the halls where policy is made. We will examine practical steps, simple changes in farming methods, and the deployment of advanced digital tools. Each approach has promises and limitations. The goal? Understand what works, what the obstacles are, and how these efforts reshape a nation's relationship with food and planet. China's pledge, peak emissions before 2030, carbon neutrality by 2060, these goals demand transformation across sectors, agriculture included. The path to a low-carbon food system is hard. It needs balancing growth with protection, supporting millions of small farmers, and shifting long-held traditions. But within the challenge is opportunity to build a more resilient, efficient, and sustainable food system in harmony with nature. This is the story we will follow. One of the most fundamental shifts occurring in China's countryside involves how farmers interact with the soil itself. For generations, intensive plowing was standard practice. Constantly turning the earth exposes the soil's carbon to the air, which then combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. A new approach is gaining ground conservation tillage, reduced tillage. This method disturbs the soil as little as possible. Farmers often leave the previous harvest's residue on the surface stalks, leaves. That residue acts like a protective blanket, preventing erosion by wind, preventing erosion by water, and helping lock carbon in the soil. By reducing tractor passes over a field, farmers use less diesel fuel, which cuts carbon dioxide emissions. Residue decomposes and enriches soil with organic matter, improving soil structure, and increasing water retention. That produces healthier, more drought-resilient crops. But the transition has challenges. Conservation tillage often needs new planting equipment to sow through residue. Farmers need skills to manage pests, weeds, and no-till systems. Agroforestry is another technique being integrated into farms. It means planting trees, shrubs alongside crops and livestock. Trees act as carbon capture through photosynthesis, storing carbon in wood leaves, roots. Integrated farms become more resilient and multifunctional. Trees provide shade for animals, act as windbreaks for crops, and yield fruit, nuts, timber as income. Limitations are mostly about time and space. Trees take years to mature and return value. They must be planned so they don't compete for sunlight, water, nutrients. Smallholder farmers on tiny plots may find dedicating space to trees difficult, so policy support and financial incentives are often necessary to scale adoption. Yes. For much of modern agricultural history, the application of fertilizer was a matter of broad estimation. Farmers would apply it across entire fields, often using more than was strictly necessary. This overuse has a hidden environmental cost. When nitrogen fertilizers are applied to the soil, microbes convert some of the nitrogen into nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a greenhouse gas nearly 300 times more potent than carbon dioxide at trapping heat. China is the world's largest consumer of fertilizers, making this a critical area for emissions reduction. The solution is a more intelligent, targeted approach, precision fertilization. It's a cornerstone of China's push for greener agriculture. The core idea is simple. Give the plant exactly what it needs, when it needs it, and where it needs it. Use tools like soil testing kits to analyze nutrient content across different parts of a field. With that data, farmers apply specific amounts only where required. They're encouraged to use slow-release fertilizers, which deliver nutrients over time, reducing losses to the air as nitrous oxide, or leaching into waterways. Precision fertilization dramatically cuts emissions, reduces water pollution, and saves farmers money. The main limitation is access. Small farms may lack funds for soil testing equipment or the knowledge to interpret results. A similar revolution is happening in pest management. Preventative spraying of chemical pesticides carries environmental costs, the energy used in their manufacture, damage to soil health, and harm to beneficial insects like pollinators. The alternative is integrated pest management, IPM. IPM isn't about banning pesticides, but using them as a last resort within a holistic strategy. It encourages farmers to observe their fields closely, monitor pest populations, and act only when pests threaten the crop. First lines of defense are often biological, for example, introducing natural predators that eat pests. IPM's benefits go beyond lower chemical emissions. It protects farm biodiversity, leads to healthier soils, and cleaner water. It also reduces the risk of pests developing resistance to chemicals, a growing problem in intensive agriculture. But like precision fertilization, IPM demands more knowledge and management. It's more labor-intensive and hard to deliver across vast rural areas. That is the reality. Rice paddies, the foundation of diets across Asia, are a significant and unique source of greenhouse gas emissions. When these fields are flooded for long periods, oxygen-deprived soil breeds methane-producing microbes. Methane is another powerful greenhouse gas, with more than 80 times the warming power of carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. Given China's scale, cutting paddy methane is a priority. A key innovation is alternate wetting and drying, or AWD, periodically lowering water to expose soil to air. Short drying interrupts methane microbes, cutting emissions without harming rice. In some cases, a single mid-season drainage achieves substantial reduction. Strength, simplicity, and low cost. Limitation, careful management. If too dry, plants stress and yields fall. Success depends on local conditions, soil type, reliable irrigation, and tailored guidance. Another major methane source is livestock, via enteric fermentation. Innovation focuses on feed additives, including seaweed-derived compounds that disrupt methane microbes without harming productivity. Better breeding and healthcare raise output per animal, boosting efficiency and profits while cutting emissions. And that's where support is needed. The image of farming as a low-tech, traditional pursuit is rapidly becoming outdated. In China, a wave of digital technology is sweeping agriculture, offering tools to make farming more efficient and less carbon-intensive. This is precision agriculture, where data is the most valuable crop. Farmers are using GPS-guided tractors, remote sensors, drones, to gather information on soil conditions, crop health, and water levels. Instead of blanket application, inputs can be applied only where needed: water, fertilizer, pesticides, precisely. Centimeter-level accuracy eliminates overlap and waste. Optimized resources lower emissions, reduced fuel, fertilizer, chemicals, while saving money and boosting yields. Barriers remain: high upfront cost, smallholder constraints, connectivity gaps, and skills gaps that risk concentrating benefits among larger enterprises. To bridge this gap, new service models are emerging. Instead of owning equipment, farmers can contract drone spraying and data analysis. The government supports rural digital infrastructure, promoting training programs. The goal is to democratize these tools, ensuring the digital harvest is shared by all, steering the sector toward a more productive, sustainable future, one data point at a time. The journey of food is perilous. Losses waste energy, water, fertilizer, land, and emit methane in landfills. Improved cold chains, production, storage, distribution, rapidly cooling fruits, vegetables, and meat, extend shelf life and cut loss, but require clean energy to avoid higher emissions. China is investing in pack houses, refrigerated trucks, and cold storage near farms and cities. The primary strength is direct reduction of food loss. Saving food saves the greenhouse gases emitted during its production. Trade-off: refrigeration is energy intensive. If powered by coal, emissions rise. The cold chain must be powered by solar, wind, or hydropower to be a true climate solution. High costs concentrate infrastructure in cities. Improved drying and sorting prevent spoilage from moisture and contamination, increasing usable product. Packaging innovations extend freshness and reduce waste. These technologies strengthen incomes but require investment and market access. The challenge is making them affordable for millions, Individual actions, farmers, companies, are essential, but national change needs strong policy. China set clear climate goals to reach peak carbon before 2030 and carbon neutrality by 2060. These targets tell every sector, including agriculture, that business as usual is over. High-level commitment mobilizes finance, focuses R&D, and provides the political will for change. The Zero Growth Action Plan for chemical fertilizers and pesticides, first introduced around 2015, capped total consumption and promoted efficient application to cut soil and water pollution and N2O emissions. Strength, clarity, and measurable outcomes, pushing farmers, researchers, and companies toward soil testing, precision application, and IPM. Improving nutrient use efficiency. Limitation, implementation, and monitoring at scale. Success depends on extension, better products, and financial incentives to overcome reluctance and risk. Targets set direction, but adoption often needs a financial nudge. China uses subsidies and payment programs for conservation tillage equipment and biogas digesters, converting manure into clean energy, lowering upfront costs and making transitions viable. Programs also pay for maintaining soil health and planting trees. Limits, sustained funding, targeting design, and verification challenges. Agricultural carbon markets. Storing soil carbon and reducing emissions can be measured, verified, and sold as credits. Companies buy credits, creating income for farmers. Pilots pay for soil organic matter, methane-reducing water management, and agroforestry. Potential is huge, but measurement and market volatility are key hurdles. China's journey to reduce emissions from its food system is complex and ambitious. Not a single silver bullet, but 1,000 actions woven into strategy. From how soil is tilled to satellite-guided machinery, the nation tests a diverse portfolio. The most effective approaches deliver co-benefits, cut emissions, improve soil health, conserve water, increase incomes, and build resilience. The evidence shows a combination works best. Practical farming methods, technological innovation, strong policy guidance, practices like reduced tillage, smarter fertilizer use, methane-reducing feed additives, modern cold chains, all enabled by policy and incentives. Zero growth for fertilizers, subsidies for green equipment, pilot carbon markets. Challenges remain: short-term costs versus long-term benefits. Thin margins for millions of smallholders. The key is solutions that are environmentally sound, economically viable, and accessible. This requires sustained investment in extension for training, financial mechanisms to de-risk investment, and infrastructure connecting producers to supply chains. China's experience offers a vital blueprint for the world. It shows feeding a massive population and protecting the climate can go together, with scientists and farmers collaborating. The path forward blends ancient wisdom with modern science, pairing national ambition with local support, putting farmers at the heart. If this balance can be maintained and scaled, China's agricultural landscapes can become a powerful engine for a more stable, healthier planet.